And it's Ken Kraetzer for Sons of America Legion Radio. We're at West Point in the Hall of Fame trophy area, the football complex today for a special presentation to two Army football players that are about to graduate from the academy, and that is A.J. Howard and Jabari Laws, two players on this past Army football team this past 4 years, and they're going to help us honor two veterans that are from the community that I grew up in Pelham, New York, Colonel Eli Page Howard and Lieutenant Eugene Evans. They were both outstanding high school athletes at Pelham Memorial High School, where I went, and my mother went to school also, and her family in the 1930s and 40s. And they were both standout athletes. Eli Page Howard was known as Tim, and he was called the touchdown king. He was a quarterback. And Eugene Evans, his nickname was Dippy. He played 4 sports. The talk was that the New York Giants were taking a look at him for baseball. But they both enrolled in the U.S. Marine Corps at the end during World War II. And after that, they decided to go to college and enrolled at Morgan State College in Baltimore, where they played on the football team. And their team won the national championship in 1949 of the African American Football League of that time. And their program produced quite a number of NFL players in the 60s and 70s. And they were both also in the first ROTC graduating class from Morgan State, graduating in 1950. And they commissioned, and they both served in the U.S. Army. They both went to Korea. As hostility started there, as many West Point grads did at the time. And sadly, Eugene Evans was leading a mission over enemy territory at night, one night, a scout mission, and he died in service. And he's interred in New Rochelle, New York today. And Colonel Howard went on to serve in Germany and then went to Vietnam. His career reminded me of Colin Powell, actually, in the places that he served at. And as a lieutenant colonel, he led a 1,000-man unit in Vietnam and was commanding them during a battle near Saigon in summer of 1969. And his helicopter was shot down, unfortunately. And the battle was so fierce, according to the accounts, that they couldn't go rescue them from the crash site. And he's interred in Arlington National Cemetery. So we discovered their story through doing historical research about 15 years ago, and we decided to honor their memory in a couple of different ways, and one of which is the Evans-Howard Leadership Award. And we are so pleased to present it to you today. Why don't we start with AJ and Coach? Glad to have Coach Monken with us today. I'd like to present that to you, to Cadet A.J. Howard from Tacoma, Georgia, Army West Point football team, U.S. Military Academy class of 2022. And in this, we have Eugene Evans, and we have Colonel Howard pictures from their military service 49 national team. And the march on of the Corps of Cadets here in December of 2020, the historic day, and when the Army-Navy game was played here, and we've got the flag from Veterans Day here of 2021, and your celebration out on the field, and your picture playing. And AJ, you've had, tell us a little bit about what was the highlight of your career here at playing football at West Point?
Sir, I would most definitely say probably the highlight is just being able to come out each week, spend time with my brothers. We grind all season long, all year, but to be able to come out on a Saturday, and especially at Mikey Stadium, just to be able to come out in front of the crowd and the fans and in front of the Corps Cadets is probably the best highlight ever.
Absolutely, and we're just standing behind the Commander-in-Chief Trophy, which your class won twice in 2018 and also in 2020, defeating Navy and Air Force in consecutive weeks here at Mikey Stadium. Quite an accomplishment. Do you have a memory from some of the games against the service academies?
Yes, sir, most definitely. I think probably the best memory about a service academy game, you never know how it's going to go. It's always a grit and a battle. It doesn't matter what your record is going into the game. But I would definitely say, the best memory is probably, I think, Army-Navy when we played here at West Point previously. It was a battle all the way to the end, and I remember it like it was yesterday. But coming down on the last couple of plays, literally probably the best excitement ever. Is just all the teammates filled with excitement, and you strive for every game each week, but no game like Army-Navy. So the atmosphere around the academy and on this team is unlike any other.
Absolutely, and I noticed you had the opportunity to go around the country to speak to high schools as prospective students to the academy. What was that experience like for you?
It's a great experience. I think, any opportunity you have a chance to, represent this institution, represent the Army, going to speak to other kids about West Point and just the opportunities with diversity and inclusion, it's always a great opportunity. Just having a chance to speak to underrepresented communities and letting them know that anything is possible, whether you have a lot growing up or you have very little. Never thought I'd be able to see the day where I graduate from a place like West Point, but here we are less than 2 days ago.
Absolutely, and tell us about your next step when you formally join the Army after commissioning on Saturday.
So I've been very blessed, sir. I got a good opportunity to come back and help out with the football program a little bit at the prep school, kind of where my roots started at. So I'll have a chance to come back and get to hopefully mentor those guys and bring them up to speed a little bit.
That's great. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you here this fall. And A.J. Howard, congratulations. Now a cadet. In 2 days will be a second lieutenant in the great U.S. Army. Good to see you. Congratulations. Okay, and Jabari, applause. Great to see you. We got our plaque here, as we mentioned, honoring Eugene Evans and Colonel Howard and the 49 National Championship team they played on, and the March On of Cadets at West Point here in 2020, a historic moment. That game was played here, and you guys won. And the Veterans Day, the flag presentation here, and we do have you in the bottom of that photo celebrating the win over the Armed Forces Bowl over Missouri, and a picture of you in action. So, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And Jabari, you made a terrific comeback. You were having a great sophomore season, and a couple injuries happened, and it took almost a year for you to get back. What did it take for you to get back and play football and have that good senior season?
Oh, it's just all the love and support from my friends and family and the coaching staff. I wouldn't be here today without them. They mean the world to me, and when I was down, they showed me everything, all the love that I needed to get back up. And to this day, I'm just forever grateful for having them in my life.
Absolutely. Now, we were here last August for one of the scrimmages, and you got out on the field with your teammates in a game-like situation, and you made the plays, and everybody was so happy for you just to see you out on the field able to compete. What was that moment like?
But it's surreal, sir. I remember it vividly, like it was yesterday. Was able to go out there in 1 minute, and they showed me love and support throughout that whole process, and I remember them just congratulating me, almost picking me up on the sideline, like as if we were in a regular game. So I thought we won the championship the way we were celebrating, but I again, like the brotherhood means so much to me, and like, without these guys, I wouldn't be graduating in less than 2 days from now.
Absolutely. Now, you had a big game against Wake Forest. Just was checking, I think you were 9 out of 11 passing, a couple of touchdowns. What was it like to compete in that manner against a very good team like Wake Forest?
It was great, sir. I'm just glad that the coaches trusted me to put me in, and just having that opportunity was wonderful. I believe that was it was Parents Weekend, so it was a sold out crowd.
Oh yeah.
And the guys made the plays, and the mob was blocking, and everybody was doing great. So it's a wonderful memory.
And then there was the moment that will be remembered, I think, for 50 years of Army football history. 1 minute 11 seconds, you're down to Missouri. Was it 1 point or 2 points? And you were getting the ball on the 25-yard line. You were sent out to lead the team. And just tell us about what happened in those 4 or 5 plays that you helped set up the field goal.
Yes, sir. I just remember getting the call on the sideline, telling me I got to step up, and I knew I was going to be prepared. Every Tuesday practice, almost every Wednesday practice as well. We do a 2-minute drill in practice. So I've seen scenarios like this countless of times. So I felt prepared, and when my number was called, I just had the opportunity. Everybody had faith in me, and so I thank God that I can make the plays.
Well, that was a terrific moment. One will be long, long remembered. And it was a great moment, I know, for me, because I was down at the game covering it, and you were out there with Tyre and with Christian, the three quarterbacks who played the game for Army, all engineered touchdowns in the game. And the three of you just had looked so satisfied with the outcome. Tell us about what that was like, just the aftermath.
Oh, yes, sir. Just playing with those guys throughout the whole season, it's just been great. I don't think you'll get that anywhere else in any other program in the country. We have a tight, close-knit brotherhood. We pride ourselves in calling ourselves the Sniper Gang. But like those guys, they're dime dozens. Like you would never find people like that again. And I really love them to death. They're like my best friends.
Absolutely. And tell us about what your future is after graduation on Saturday.
Yes, sir. So I branched armor. My first duty station would be in Fort Bliss, Texas. And I'm actually glad you have this picture. This is my first collegiate start against UTSA.
Okay.
And in that game, we represented the first armor division, which is the same year that we went to. So.
Oh, that's neat. That's neat. We have to thank our friend Derek for his assistance on that. And really, congratulations. It was a pleasure to watch you play. AJ, you want to come back in and Coach? We have Coach Monken here, and just love to have Coach offer a comment or two on these two about to be graduates.
Well, Ken, you couldn't have two better guys to represent this award, and I know it's an honor for them, and just what two great guys. I mean, they've been tremendous team players. You can talk about all the touchdowns and all the plays that they made on the field, but it goes far beyond the field. These two guys have been great leaders and just great teammates. They're going to be tremendous officers in the Army, so we're incredibly proud of them.
Absolutely. I just want to thank you, Coach, and AJ Howard and Jabari Lutz, thank you. And we have two veterans from the American Legion with us today from the Valhalla Post. And I want to mention a couple of folks who've helped us. Arif Katif, who's written has a book coming out about trailblazing African American athletes, and he's got a chapter about Eugene Evans and Colonel Howard in that. I also want to remember one of my high school teachers, Charlie Wilson, who became superintendent of schools in Pelham, encouraged us to go forward with this honors program. He sadly passed away this spring, and he was a good friend and mentor and encouraged us to conduct this program and honor these two graduates of Pelham Memorial High School. Thank you all. AJ and Jabari, enjoy graduation. We'll look for you out there on the field. I'll look for you tossing your hat at the end. And Coach Monken, always thank you, and a pleasure working with you this year, and we'll look forward to the fall.
You as well, Ken.
Pleasure. This is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of American Legion Radio at West Point.